Good day, everyone, especially to Ma'am Maureen Mariscalio. I am Emily Aria Galgo, and I am going to report about dynamic assessment in language learning for the subject Educate. So first, objectives. To explore the concept and principles of dynamic assessment in language learning. To analyze the impact and benefits of dynamic assessment on language learners' progress and development. Introduction. Dynamic assessment is an approach that combines assessment and instruction to understand and support a learner's development. Unlike traditional assessments that measure what a learner knows at a particular point in time, dynamic assessment focuses on the learning process and how learners respond to mediation or instructional interventions. So, this approach is particularly useful in language learning as it provides insights into learners' potential and guides educators in tailoring instruction to meet individual needs. Understanding dynamic assessment can help the language educators create more effective and responsive teaching strategies that foster language development. So we are on the brief history. So origins of dynamic assessment in educational psychology. Dynamic assessment originated from the work of the Russian psychologist Lev Vygotsky in the early 20th century. Vygotsky's sociocultural theory emphasized the importance of social interaction and mediation in cognitive development. He introduced the concept of the zone of proximal development, ZPD, which refers to the difference between what a learner can do independently and what can they achieve with guidance. This concept laid the foundation for dynamic assessment. Development and application in language learning. So, the application of dynamic assessment in language learning began to gain traction in the late 20th and early 21st centuries. Researchers and educators started to explore how dynamic assessment could be used to evaluate and support second language acquisition. Studies demonstrated that dynamic assessment could provide valuable information about learners' strengths, weaknesses, and learning potential, making it a powerful tool for language educators. Concept and principles of dynamic assessment. Definition and difference from traditional assessment. So, dynamic assessment is a formative approach that integrates teaching and assessment to evaluate a learner's potential for development. Unlike traditional assessments, which are often summative and static, dynamic assessment is interactive and process-oriented. Key principles. Central to dynamic assessment is the rule of mediation, where the assessor provides instructional support to help the learner achieve a task. The focus is on understanding how the learner responds to this mediation and how it aids their learning process. This approach emphasizes the CPD and the idea that learning is dynamic and ongoing process. Methods and techniques of dynamic assessment. Number one is test, teach, test. So this method involves assessing the learner, providing targeted instruction or mediation, and then reassessing it to see how the learner has improved. And then it helps identify the learner's ability to benefit from instruction. Second one is graduated prompt approach. In this technique, the assessor provides a series of increasingly specific prompts to help the learners complete a task. The aim is to determine the level of assistance to the learner needs and promote independent problem-solving skills. Mediated learning experience, MLE. This approach involves ongoing interaction between the assessor and the learner, where the assessor continuously adjusts the level of support based on the learner's needs. It focuses on developing the learner's cognitive and metacognitive skills through guided instruction. Method I'm sorry. Wala na ako na-edit. It should be benefits and impact on language learners. Individualized feedback. So, dynamic assessment provides personalized feedback that helps learners understand their progress and areas for improvement. This tailored approach supports individual learning needs. Enhance learner engagement. By involving learners actively in the assessment process, dynamic assessment fosters greater engagement and motivation. Learners become more aware of their learning strategies and are encouraged to take an active role in their language development. Promotion of self-regulation. Dynamic assessment help learners develop self-regulation skills by guiding them to reflect on their learning process and to identify effective strategies for overcoming challenges. Next is challenges and considerations. Time constraints. So, implementing dynamic assessment can be time consuming as it requires ongoing interaction and mediation. Educators need to balance the time spent on dynamic assessment with other instructional activities. Need for specialized training. Effective dynamic assessment requires educators to be skilled in mediation techniques and to understand the principles of Vygotsky's socio-cultural theory. Training and professional development are essential for successful implementation. Last one is integration into curriculum. So, incorporating dynamic assessment into existing language learning curricula can be challenging. Educators need to consider how to align dynamic assessment with curriculum goals and standards while maintaining its formative and interactive nature. So, relevance. Dynamic assessment is relevant in language learning as it supports personalized and effective instruction. By focusing on the learning process and providing individualized feedback, dynamic assessment helps educators tailor their teaching strategies to meet the unique needs of each learner. This approach also enhances learners' cognitive and metacognitive skills, promoting self-regulation and active engagement in the learning process. Understanding dynamic assessment is crucial for developing responsive and adaptive language teaching methodologies that foster language development. Conclusion. In conclusion, dynamic assessment plays a significant role in language learning by providing a formative and interactive approach to evaluating and supporting learners' development. Its focus on mediation and learning process offers valuable insights into learners' potential and guides educators in creating effective instructional strategies. Despite challenges such as time constraints and the need for specialized training, dynamic assessment has the potential to transform language education by promoting individualized learning and fostering a deeper understanding of language acquisition. Future research and practice should continue to explore and refine dynamic assessment techniques to enhance their effectiveness and impact. So I prepared an identification quiz which which are 5 items only, and here are the references from my report. Thank you for listening.